Astrology is being used for thousands of years as a predictive tool to help clients navigate challenges in their life. And these kind of people like to live in isolation, stay away from public eye. So if there's no support for these kind of people's emotional mind, it's very easy for them to get into anxiety, mood swings, depression, and unfortunately some can go to the extreme steps of suicide. So number one planet which is very critical for people who get into anxiety and depression is Moon, our emotional mind. How as professional astrologers we can use three common tools. Namaste all. Astrology is being used for thousands of years as a predictive tool to help clients navigate challenges in their life. And in this video, I like to talk about anxiety, depression, and mood swings. How as professional astrologers we can use three common tools: Vedic Astrology, numerology, and palmistry to see the signs to counsel and guide our clients. So number one planet which is very critical for people who get into anxiety and depression is Moon, our emotional mind. Just like different phases of Moon, we can have highs, we can have lows. So if your Moon is afflicted in your horoscope, it can create a lot of emotional problems for you. So some of the common yogas or some of the common afflictions in the horoscope we can see. Number one is called Kem Drum Dosha. So Kem Drum Dosha is when Moon's previous house and the next house is empty, meaning there's no support or energy that is being aspected on Moon, and it feels lonely. And these kind of people like to live in isolation, stay away from public eye. So if there's no support for these kind of people's emotional mind, it's very easy for them to get into anxiety, mood swings, depression, and unfortunately some can go to the extreme steps of suicide. Second malefic aspect we can see is hemming, where Moon is aspected by malefic planets like Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, and Mars. Or these malefic planets are sitting in the same house with Moon, which is the emotional mind. And also these effects will be felt when people are going into their dashas and antardashas. Because what happens is when you are born, your Moon is placed in certain house, and these malefic planets are also placed there, but you will only feel their effects when you are undergoing their transits or their dashas. So I will take one of the examples or two horoscopes to show how it will impact. So if you see on your screen the first chart where Mars is in first house, it will show number 5, which is zodiac Leo, and this is a North Indian horoscope. We count all these houses anti-clockwise. So in this horoscope, Moon is sitting in 8th house. Again, 8th house is the house of transformation and highs and lows and pains. And if you see, Saturn is sitting in 6th house and putting third aspect to the Moon. Saturn again is a malefic planet. So Saturn is causing affliction for the Moon. If Saturn is sitting along with the Moon, we call also Vish dosha, where people have a gloomy mindset and they're very prone of getting in depression very easily. And similarly in this horoscope, Mars is sitting in the first house Lagna, casting 8th aspect for the Moon. Again it is afflicting the Moon, Mars, and Chandramangal yoga it's forming, and it can also cause person to be really fiery in nature and get into these kind of problems pretty quickly. And in this horoscope, Moon doesn't have any planet in the 9th house and also 7th house, meaning moon is in isolation, causing Kem Thrum dosha. So these are, the doshas which can cause lot of emotional problems for the clients. And in astrology also 6, 8, 12 and second house, if we see are somehow related in any configuration, it will create person to go into depression and anxiety pretty quickly. So let's see another horoscope. So as you can see on the screen in this horoscope, the person is undergoing Rahu Saturn Dasha, and Rahu Dasha is starting from 2018 all the way to 2036. So that's Rahu Mahadasha, and he's undergoing Saturn Antardasha, which started 24th December and it will go all the way 30th October 2026. And in this horoscope, Moon is sitting in the second house. As you see on the screen, Moon is 15.5 degrees, which is hemmed between two malefic planets, Rahu, which is 7.1 degree, and Mars, which is 21.17 degrees. So Moon is also hemmed, it is afflicted, so it will cause lot of stress and emotional trauma for that person. And now the third configuration you can see on your screen is, because since the person is going Rahu Saturn Antardasha, so we will just focus what kind of results or what kind of problem it can create. So Rahu is showing 2 at the planetary level, 2 in nakshatra level, 2, 6, 8. These are the bad houses, especially for the emotional mind or those kind of anxiety. So this will create problem during all this Antardasha, major dasha. And Saturn is also showing 1, 8 in planetary level, 2, 6, 8 in nakshatra level, and 1, 2 in sub level. So all these houses will create lot of problems for this client, and it is very easy for me to see that this person can easily have mood swings, anxiety, stress, and can easily have depression symptoms. So folks, in this horoscope, anytime this person is undergoing Venus Dasha and Ketu Dasha, which also are indicating by these red houses, this person has to be very careful. And if a family comes to me for consultation, I will tell them keep a special check on that person and make sure we give them some kind of remedy so he can overcome these challenges. So now let's see numerology chart for one of the other clients. His date of birth 23rd April 1977. Basic number, as you can see, is 5. Destiny number is 6. So his basic chart is cast on the screen, and then let's see what his yearly dasha, mahadasha or monthly dasha is doing. So if you see the second numerology grid, I have circled certain planets. So on the top plane, I circled 1, which indicates Sun, that is his yearly dasha. He will definitely have the effects of that. And we see what configuration or aspect Sun is making with other planets, which are denoted here by different numbers. So he is undergoing Mahadasha of Rahu, as circle at the bottom third row, extreme right. And Rahu is highly activated, and he's undergoing Saturn monthly dasha, which is the middle number as denoted in the grid. And the third row first is Moon, which is signified by number 2, that is his daily dasha. So couple of things we can see very quickly. What are the planets in this numerological grid showing anxiety, stress in the person's life? First is Rahu, because that is their major dasha undergoing for 4 years. So Rahu is all to do with phobias, hallucinations. So these people, get heightened and very sensitive, and they see and feel things which are not easy visible for their family. So there's a lot of hallucinations, there are a lot of phobias, and they always think there's some conspiracy, around them, and somebody is trying to bring them down emotionally. Second planet which is also kind of disturbed is Moon, which is our emotional mind, and it gives you lot of mood swings, and these persons become very oversensitive and very reactive. And you can see sometime, they also get angry and volatile pretty easily. Third planet, which comes in the lower plane, Saturn, so completing 284. So Saturn is a planet which create a lot of tough circumstances. Person feel very gloomy, helpless, and it can also create a lot of challenges and create depressions very easily and create highs and lows in any aspect of their life, whether it's career, family, and especially in this situation, these disturbed planets show us that that person is undergoing lot of stress and anxiety currently in his dasha. So activation planet in the middle, we see 178, 1 is the sun, 7 is Ketu, 8 is Saturn. It shows this person is undergoing intimacy issues and currently have a disturbed marriage life. And if I see configuration in the middle, 2 sevens, basically Ketu is disturbed, and Ketu cause unstable life, anxiety, and these people are very suspicious of their partners. And Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn coming together shows separation or divorce in certain cases. So this is just generic things, but we can dig deep into their horoscope to pinpoint what exactly is going to happen or fructify. So folks, this is numerology, and let's go also now palmistry, which is also a very important tool which tell us different symptoms in person life, what is their composition, what is their built-in DNA. Are they too much worrier kind of people, or they have strength to overcome their life. So if you see on your screen the palm of a person, first thing we notice is short index finger. So short index finger, which is the first finger of Jupiter, shows this person can easily come under peer pressure. So that is number one. And lack of self-confidence also is shown here. Second thing you can see is island on the lifeline. It shows early in their life they will have diseases or could have health issues earlier in their childhood or early teenager years. Third sign is broken headline. So if you see in the middle of the palm, the headline, it can shows injuries, migraines, major hurdles, or unstable mind. Fourth point on the headline is island on the headline. It can show sudden illness or career interruptions in their life. Fifth sign, the person has a broken heart line. What broken heart line tells us disappointments, and heart line is also very short. It shows them these people can be impulsive in relationship or get very self-centered sometimes and will have difficulties in their relationships. Sixth, see, which I notice in the hand is headline is extremely bent towards mount of moon. So moon is our emotional mind. So if it's too much tilting towards mount of moon, it showed the person is very emotional, moody, and have extreme imaginations. Now if I see lower mount of Mars, we see certain lines cutting the lifeline and going towards headline. These kind of people are very worrying in nature. They overthink everything, and they have very sometimes lack of self-esteem because it is pretty flat mount, and they have very lack of motivation in their life. So they always need a push from their family or partners to achieve things. And if I see the first portion of their thumb is pretty small, and number 8 signifies that, and it shows lack of confidence and willpower. And ninth sign which I see prominent in is the griddle of Venus, which is under Saturn and Sun mounts. So it shows emotionally very sensitive people and very nervous in nature. So the video is pretty long, but I just want to show as astrologers, people who know what they're doing, if they study all these sciences, Vedic astrology, numerology, and palmistry, we can see certain symptoms if a parent bring their child early on, and we can tell them that this kid is very emotional, these things you have to be careful. And astrological is very good predictive tool which pinpoint and tells under which dashas, antardashas, or transits, we have to be super careful and how we have to handle these kids or client under those dashas. So remedies, there are certain Vedic remedies, of course. If in the first situation, Rahu and Saturn, Mahadasha, Antardasha is going, so we have to advise clients of those planetary, remedies or donations. So if you want a consultation, you can call me. I can see what is going on, and we can definitely do some kind of remedies for those. Typically, people do mantra chanting or donations. And then we can have karmic remedies. Obviously, if you are already agitated or very emotional or anxious, you have to sit down and basically stay away from toxic people and learn to set up your boundaries, learn to say no, and seek professional counsel. Go to psychiatrists, go to your doctors, and take proper precautions. I hope you like the video. In future, I'll be sharing more videos in regarding to health ailments and those sort of things, and how astrology can help you, plan your next. Thanks for watching. God bless.